for those who are just discovering Boong, give a synopsis of the film.
So it's about a boy who lives in the valley of Manipur, and he lives with his mother, who's almost like a single mother. And according to him, she does everything for him. So he wants to give her a very special gift, and he thinks that like the gift is going to be his father, like the father who has not returned home for a few years. And in his mind, that he feels that when his father is around, the mother smiles and she is happy and she doesn't scold him. So he thinks that the best gift that he can give her is his father. So he goes in search for him. And yeah, that's the little gist of the story.
It's certainly an adventurous story here, and so one of the key components to this story, because of course Boone wants to do this really extravagant thing for his mom, but he has a best friend along the way, and these kids, I want to talk about them in a moment, but they're so adorable and their chemistry is amazing. Um, tell me about tell me what about this kind of like friendship and loyalty. Tell me what about that dynamic between these characters that was so crucial that you decided to put it in your directorial debut.
I left home when I was 10 years old. So my friends were the family I chose.
Hmm.
So they became like families, like whatever. I was in a boarding school, and what your if you stayed at home, what your mother would tell you or your father would tell you, my friends were advising. We were learning from the seniors, so friendship was very important. And somewhere, I think that kind of if you've gone through a life experience like that, somewhere it comes and like expresses itself in whatever you do. Like in when I'm writing something, or I think even in this film, um, that kind of a friendship is something I really wanted to project, because it is beyond family and beyond what you expect. Like in a relationship, husband and wife or things, it's completely there's no expectation with friends, I think. Of
Hmm.
course there is, but somewhere you don't have this you don't have a this burden of doing it for somebody who's related to you or given birth to you or things like that. So I find friendship as a theme um, is very close to me,
Hmm.
because all my life everything has been shaped by my friends. And somewhere when I was writing this story, Raju came into being, also because Manipur as a place is such that there's this huge outsider insider divide.
Hmm.
And even when coming from that place, when I moved to a big city like Delhi, they always think that people from northeast of India is slightly different, or not everybody is very friendly. So to to overcome that divide and become friends with somebody was something I think also grew from my experience, which is what happened in the film with Bung and Raju.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's really great insight to have behind them, because I just love their characters and their dynamic. I think you're right. There's not an obligation, so to speak, right, to their friendship. It's really just because they care about each other, and not because of any other maybe societal expectation for their relationship. So that's awesome. Tell me more about working with the kids. Oh my gosh, they're so adorable. They're so fun and great on
Were
screen.
really naughty. They have not. They have never done any drama, theater, nothing. They were completely raw, and they just clicked. I don't know how they just clicked. Okay, so which was
Yes.
like a big task for me, and like controlling myself from like sometimes wanting to,
Hmm.
yeah. The funny thing was the first time when the three of them met, Bung, Raju, and Juliana, and the two boys were sitting on the floor, and she said, "Oh, the floor is so cold," and Boom just said, "Oh, second-hand foreigner." That's how the dialogue came in the film. And so I think that I just told them that just don't worry about camera, don't worry. It's just like the way you do play acting, with your friends. Somebody becomes a doctor and somebody becomes a patient. So just play act. What was really actually kind of a discovery for me was also that I never told them what to do. I told them, okay, this is a situation. So how would you react to the situation? So they knew I had narrated the story. I never gave them the script, because with kids, then they'll start,
Hmm.
only parroting, like maybe they rehearse at home with their mother or father, and they'll start, acting like that. So I just told them only scenes, and then when I put in the morning when I would block, and I would like be like, so how would you feel about this? And they were so pure. It was just spontaneous, but they were a bit. They were exactly like how it was in the film.
That's great.
Very naughty, very difficult to control. Yeah,
Well, I think that that's the perfect energy for this film because there's certainly that component to making this movie really entertaining, and I'm glad that their personalities really came through in these
yeah.
roles. Um, I want to talk about one of the scenes because a core component of this film is music. And there's a scene in the film that has this performance of Madonna's Like a Virgin. And I mean, watching the scene is really fun. It's like being at a concert. Tell me about filming that. How was it to make that scene?
Filming that was a completely different story because it was flooded.
It
So there
was
was water
flooded.
coming down from the yeah, from the ceiling, and it was a really old defunct, not defunct, sorry, but it's a very old cinema hall, one of the few surviving cinema halls in Manipur. As because
Wow.
as you must have discovered through the film that Hindi movies and banned, so a lot of
Mhm.
theaters became defunct. So I was very keen to shoot there, but it was pouring, like it was pouring, and so we people walking through mud to just reach there. Also, it's not a very film friendly place in terms of you can't get background easily, and have,
Mhm.
it's not like in Bombay you have an organized setup that you can get background artists and stuff like that. So it was literally like, please, 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 please stay for the scene. The fun part was, I think, the lady who played JJ, the singer,
Mhm.
she's a trans woman herself, and she's never sung before. And she sang the song, and she is quite an icon in Manipur. So I think most of the people agreed to be part of the scene because of her. They just wanted to meet her. She's a very, like, she's an activist, and um, so it was just crazy that I don't know how we managed to just film it and get out, but the energy was really nice because the like it was all these neighbors around the hall, who came together, and they were very excited to be part of the filming.
Mhm.
And one of the ladies, I especially put her close up because she said, I practiced the whole night how I'm going to dance. So it was just a simple, they are not from cinema, and it was just very, very lovely to have like just folks coming and just participating in this. And also the thing was the musical instrument that they play in the song.
The drums, right?
Yeah, it's called pung. It's like it's our traditional instrument which we use for all the ceremonies,
Hmm.
like whether it is wedding or death ceremony or thing. So it was fun to incorporate that performance.
That's great. No, it was it
Yeah,
was very
yeah.
it looked really cool. I thought how that was captured with the instruments. It was just a really remarkable scene.
And for the crew also, they had not seen, they didn't know what I was going to do because we didn't have, it's like, it's a small film. You don't have a luxury of having rehearsals for songs and stuff like that. So they would, I know I know what they're going to do because I've seen it all my life.
Right.
So when they started doing the flying drums, everyone was very fascinated. So it was a, yeah, fun shoot, lovely energy.
That's great. That's incredible. Let's talk a little bit about you and your career. You've before this, you've had experience as an assistant director. And so I was curious, on your perspective on stepping out of the assistant director role and into just being a director of a film. Really, I kind of want to know if there's anything that surprised you or that you didn't expect going from assistant director into being a director.
So normally in India, when you become an assistant director, unlike in the US and other working setups, everyone assume that you're going to get promoted to being a director. So, but for me, I really felt that director is not a job. It's not a job. Not it should not be considered like a job. So, it took me very, very long to even come to terms that I was going to direct because I wrote this film first. Directing was not part of the scheme,
Oh, I
but
see.
I think I got attached and I directed. And the first day of shoot, I couldn't sleep the night because I was so scared. I'm like, what am I going to do? Like as an AD, your thought process is so different. You have to think of how much you can achieve in a day, and here I have to let go. But the very first day of shoot, when I walked onto the set, I felt I've always done it. I don't know how. I don't know how, from where it came from. And I just felt a little relaxed. I was like, okay,
Wow.
it's almost the same. But of course, there are 100 other things. But and also, I felt, oh, I think there was so much lesser problems for me as a director than when I was a AD.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah. That always, I felt calmer. Yeah,
It's so interesting to
yeah,
hear about. I think
yeah.
yeah, I'm happy that you took on the role and that you found a groove and that everything worked out. So well done. Um, the film is world premiering in Toronto. I'm gonna wrap this up here in a couple minutes, but I would love to know what it means to you to have this movie premiering in Toronto.
It's beyond an honor. Like, it's completely unexpected.
Mhm.
When I went to make the film, I didn't even know whether we can even have a release or will anyone see it other than me and my family. My friends, as I'm talking about friendship, I would have forced them to watch. But it is unbelievable that I got this chance. And I'm so scared, like, because sometimes when you have done nothing and then it gets a platform like this, it's a lot of it can get to you, right, in terms of pressure. How are you going to make your next film,
Mm.
XYZ? But I'm excited. I'm very excited to be in and TIFF, not only because of the festival. I get to meet other filmmakers, like there'll be so much of different cinema to watch. So scared, nervous, and excited.
That all makes so much sense, and I'm sure it's going to be a great experience for you. Last question, just for fun, what are you looking forward to most about being in Toronto? Anything that you must do while you're in the city?
I don't know if it is in Toronto, but I want to see the Niagara Falls. That
Niagara
sounds
Falls.
stupid.
Yes, that's it's nearby. It's just I think it's a couple hours away,
because
but
yeah,
it's easy to get to. And everyone who goes to
because
Toronto likes to go to Niagara Falls.
no, because like it's like coming to India and not seeing the Taj Mahal.
Right. No, you're right.
You
Niagara
know,
Falls is a
so because it's so far. Canada is so far. I can't even believe I'm traveling so far. So if I'm going so far, I want to see the Niagara Falls if it's possible.
well, I sincerely hope you get that opportunity. It would be a nice cherry on top of your experience in Toronto. So I'll go ahead and wrap it up there. Congratulations on this film. I'm excited for more people to see it and for it to go out into the world. And I'm excited for you and the future of your career.
Thank you so much.